Hey BC, David here with another video, second one of the evening. Are you guys getting tired of these videos yet? That's right. I took advantage of the 50% off sale Barnes & Noble. Picked up a few albums. My Barnes & Noble had quite the section of half-price albums. It was almost like half of the section was retail priced albums and the other half was the 50% off albums. So I don't know if they are planning on downsizing their vinyl section in the stores or if they're just making room for new albums. I've been shopping at Barnes & Noble for the past 3 or 4 years, and sometimes their selections do seem a little stale. A lot that don't seem to move very quickly. I took advantage of the sale. My understanding is that it's going to go on until they just completely sell out of their half-price inventories, but I did manage to pick up some albums that I have had my eye on, so we'll kick it off with this first album. This is Dave Grohl, and this is the instrumental he released last year entitled Play. It's him playing all the instruments. It's very progressive sounding. It's a 23-minute composition that he recorded live, and anxious to give it a spin. I'm assuming that it's maybe one side that's just the instrumental, maybe an etching on the second side. Haven't opened it yet, so I will definitely check that out. The second one that I picked up is by an artist named Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. This is his album Tearing at the Seams. He's got a sound that's very much like Van Morrison, in my opinion. I think I saw him perform on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and they were doing this song, You Worry Me. Very good track. I've streamed the album, just never picked it up because I thought it was a little bit overpriced, but at half price, I couldn't pass it up. So, Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. Next up, we have the Rolling Stones, and this is their album Blue and Lonesome. This came out in 2016. Again, this is one that I've seen at Barnes & Noble many times and just kind of passed over it. It was half price, so again, I couldn't pass it up. A lot of blues standards. They do a cover of I Can't Quit You, Babe, which pales in comparison to Led Zeppelin's. That's one of my favorite versions. But anyways, Blue and Lonesome from the Rolling Stones. Next is one that I've had my eye on as well, that came out in 2017. This is George Harrison's son, Danny Harrison, and this is his album In Parallel. Never Know, War on False, and All About Waiting are songs that I've heard before. I've streamed this on iTunes. It's mind-boggling as to how much he sounds like his dad sometimes. It's just crazy. But this is Danny Harrison. Album is called In Parallel, and $12. Couldn't pass it up. And last but not least is one of my favorite country artists, and one of my favorite guitarists as well, Keith Urban. This is his album Love, Pain, and the Whole Crazy Thing. This was the first time it was released on vinyl, and again, 12 bucks, couldn't pass it up. There's still a few albums I don't have of his that I would like to get. Unfortunately, they weren't available at Barnes & Noble for half price, so I will keep an eye out, and hopefully they will put some more of his albums in the half price section. That's gonna do it for this video. I'm hoping to just kind of periodically check back in at the Barnes & Noble in Lexington and just see what's available. Ron Haggerty posted a video yesterday and it really got me thinking, so I'm going to try to be a little more cognizant of what I'm buying and try to limit myself to buying things that I know I'm going to listen to, and not just play once and then it stays on my shelf only to be pulled out for contest entries. So that's my resolution for 2020 as far as vinyl goes. I also am hoping to downsize my collection. I've got a lot of stuff that when I first started collecting that I was just buying at thrift stores, getting on eBay, that I have played maybe once, and it's never been touched since then. So hoping to free up some space. Right now I've got some crates that are off to the side that I just don't have room for them in my cubicles for my records. So maybe sending out some VCOT. A lot of it's just stuff that was given to me by a friend. Unfortunately, I think his cat liked to use the records as a scratching post. So a lot of the spines are really just beat up and chewed up. And so those will probably just go to Goodwill. But that's my plans for 2020. What are some of your plans as far as vinyl collecting goes? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to read them. And until next time, take care. Thanks.